What if I told you that every night, at exactly 3:12 a.m., something watches you from your own reflection? And what if that something smiles right before someone dies? This is the story of Marcus Chen, a 28-year-old software developer who thought insomnia was his biggest problem. He was wrong. Dead wrong. Tonight's story is titled, Every Night at 3:12 a.m., the man in the mirror smiles back. But before you get comfortable into Marcus's nightmare, hit that subscribe button because you're going to want to follow this channel after what you're about to hear. Trust me. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world. Now, if you're wearing headphones, perfect. If not, you might want to put some on. Or you can lower the volume now, just enough so my voice blends gently with the stillness of your room. Close your eyes. Let your shoulders sink just a bit more into your pillow. You don't have to do anything. Just listen. March 15th, 2024. Marcus had been dealing with chronic insomnia for 3 months. Every night, like clockwork, he'd wake up at 3:12 a.m. Not 3:11, not 3:13, always 3:12. At first, he'd just lie there, staring at the ceiling. But on this particular night, something was different. As he sat up in bed, rubbing his eyes, he caught his reflection in the antique mirror his grandmother had left him. And that's when he saw it. His reflection was smiling. But Marcus wasn't smiling. In fact, he hadn't smiled in weeks. Marcus blinked hard, shook his head. When he looked back, his reflection was normal again. Tired eyes, messy hair, confused expression. He chalked it up to sleep deprivation and went back to bed. But the next morning, his phone buzzed with a text from his neighbor, Mrs. Patterson. Her husband had died in his sleep. Time of death? 3:12 a.m. Coincidence? That's what Marcus thought too. Until it happened again. Night 2, 3:12 a.m. Marcus woke up again, this time with a strange compulsion to look in the mirror. And there it was, that smile. Wider this time. More deliberate. Marcus grabbed his phone, opened the camera app, and pointed it at the mirror. Through the screen, he looked normal. But in the actual reflection, still smiling. He took a screenshot, but it just showed his normal, confused face. No smile. No evidence. By morning, another death. This time it was Janet from the coffee shop down the street. Heart attack. Time? You guessed it. 3:12 a.m. Marcus started keeping a journal. Every night, the same ritual. Wake up at 3:12. Look in the mirror. See himself smiling. Then, inevitably, someone would die at that exact time. March 17th, mirror smiled. Mr. Rodriguez, apartment 4B, stroke at 3:12 a.m. March 18th, smile was almost laughing. Sarah from work, car accident on her way home from late shift, 3:12 a.m. March 19th, the smile looked hungry. Mrs. Kim next door fell downstairs, 3:12 a.m. Marcus was losing his mind. He covered the mirror with a sheet, but he could still feel it watching him. He moved to the couch, but the bathroom mirror called to him. He tried staying at hotels, but every mirror, every reflective surface, showed him that horrifying smile at 3:12 a.m. And every morning, without fail, someone else was dead. By the end of March, Marcus had documented 15 deaths, all at 3:12 a.m., all preceded by his reflection's smile. He was either having a complete psychological breakdown, or something supernatural was using his reflection as a harbinger of death. Marcus dove into research. He discovered that 3:12 a.m. is considered one of the most spiritually active times. But more disturbing, the mirror had a history. His grandmother hadn't just left him any mirror. This was a Victorian mourning mirror, used in the 1800s during funeral preparations. Families would cover mirrors when someone died, believing the soul could get trapped in the reflection. But this mirror? It had never been properly covered. For over 150 years, it had been collecting souls, and now it needed Marcus as its window into the living world. Marcus found records, the mirror's previous owners. The Patterson family in 1923 all died mysterious deaths at 3:12 a.m. over the course of a month. The Williams family in 1967, same pattern. The Johnsons in 1989, you get the picture. But here's where it gets really terrifying. Marcus discovered that in each case, there was one survivor. One person who the mirror kept alive to serve as its beacon. And that person, they all went insane within 6 months. April 1st, Marcus hadn't slept properly in weeks. He'd tried everything, sleeping pills, meditation, even asking friends to watch him sleep. Nothing worked. 3:12 a.m. always came, and with it, that smile. But this night was different. This night, the smile wasn't just wider. It was moving its lips, speaking. It whispered soon, it mouthed, very soon. Marcus scrambled for his phone, started recording. He needed proof. He needed someone to believe him. But when he played back the video, just him, staring at a mirror, talking to himself like a madman. That morning, 3 people died. All at 3:12 a.m. All people Marcus knew personally. His barista, his mailman, his upstairs neighbor. The smile was getting stronger, more selective. It was choosing people from Marcus's life. April 5th, 5 deaths. All friends from college. April 8th, 7 deaths. His entire bowling league. April 12th, his boss, his dentist, his mechanic, the grocery store clerk he chatted with every week. Marcus realized the horrible truth. The mirror wasn't just predicting deaths. It was causing them. And it was systematically eliminating everyone Marcus cared about, isolating him, making him completely dependent on its dark presence. By mid-April, Marcus was alone. Completely alone. Everyone who had been part of his regular life was dead. His family lived across the country and hadn't returned his increasingly frantic calls. He couldn't risk them coming to visit. He tried everything to destroy the mirror. Hammers bounced off it. Fire wouldn't touch it. Even professional movers refused to take it after the 3rd guy mysteriously died in a car accident at, you guessed it, 3:12 a.m. But Marcus had one last idea. If the mirror needed a living person to channel its power, what would happen if that person wasn't alive at 3:12 a.m.? April 20th, Marcus made his plan. He would take enough sleeping pills to stop his heart temporarily. He'd research the timing. If he took them at 2:50 a.m., his heart would stop around 3:10 a.m., before the mirror could use him. He called 911 first, told them to come to his apartment at exactly 3:15 a.m. He hoped paramedics could revive him after the mirror's window of power closed. 2:50 a.m. Marcus swallowed the pills. 3 a.m. His vision started blurring. 3:10 a.m. His heart stopped. 3:12 a.m. The mirror activated, but there was no living conduit. Marcus's reflection appeared in the mirror, but it was just an echo. No smile. No power. 3:15 a.m. Paramedics arrived, found Marcus barely alive. They managed to restart his heart. He'd done it. He'd broken the cycle. Or so he thought. Marcus woke up in the hospital the next evening. The mirror was gone. His landlord had finally managed to remove it while he was unconscious. No more 3:12 a.m. wake-ups. No more smiling reflections. But that first night in the hospital, something was wrong. At 3:12 a.m., Marcus woke up naturally. He looked around the room, confused. Then he saw it. His reflection in the black TV screen. Smiling. The mirror was gone, but the connection remained. Marcus had become the mirror. Every reflective surface was now a window for the entity that had been trapped in that Victorian glass for over a century. And that night, the first death in weeks. The paramedic who had saved Marcus's life. Time of death, 3:12 a.m. But here's the real kicker. Remember those previous families? The ones who owned the mirror before? Marcus found their descendants. All of them. Still alive. Still waking up at 3:12 a.m. Still seeing their reflections smile. The mirror hadn't been passed down through inheritance. It had been reproduced. Every person it claimed became a new conduit. A new source of power. And now Marcus realized the terrifying truth. He wasn't the only one. There were dozens of people like him. Maybe hundreds. All across the country. All waking up at 3:12 a.m. All watching their reflections smile as people died. Marcus tried to warn people. He created social media posts, called local news stations, even started his own blog. But who would believe him? He sounded crazy, paranoid, delusional. And every night, at 3:12 a.m., his reflection smiled as someone, somewhere, died. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, if you wake up at 3:12 a.m., don't look in any mirrors. Don't check your phone screen. Don't look at any reflective surfaces, because if you see yourself smiling back, well, just remember Marcus's story. And if you're watching this at 3:12 a.m. right now, look behind you. Is that smile in your screen really just a reflection of this video? Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. You will want to know when we post our next story about the people who tried to help Marcus and what happened to them. Sweet dreams.